Alright my fellow agents, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and today's skill build is actually one I've wanted to put together for a while. It is based around the Investor Mask, and if you do not have a copy of it as yet, I'm going to leave a link to a video I posted, I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, walking you through exactly how you can pick one up. Now, having said that, for those of you that may not know, this mask is the only exotic in the game that can drop with a random core attribute. Not only that, all the minor attributes can be totally random as well. And because of that, it happens to be one of the rare exotics in the game where you definitely want multiple versions of this thing. In my opinion, you want a red one, a blue one, and a yellow one as well. Which now takes us to the version I'm currently using in one of my go-to skill builds. Now, starting with a specialization, we're using Technician. Doing that for the following reasons: you get that extra skill tier, which means you can spec into armor or weapon damage as one of your other core attributes. You also get an extra 12% damage to drone skill proxies and robotics. This gives you access to the Talent Overclock CPU, which gives you an extra 10% skill damage bonus. And always remember, you need to make sure you have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you are using. Now, when it comes to your primary weapons, you have a ton of options. You know, for me, the Harmony Rifle is just my go-to weapon when it comes to a skill build. You can see it has the talent perfectly in sync, and with that talent, hitting an enemy is going to grant 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill will grant 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds as well. And not only that, damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. Now, my secondary weapon for this build is the Capacitor. This is another one of those go-to exotics in the game, and you could easily switch these up. If you want to run the Capacitor as your primary, it's totally up to you. This has the talent Capacitance, where shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 40, and each stack is going to grant 1.5% skill damage. Not only that, for every skill tier you have equipped, you're going to get an extra 7.5% weapon damage as well. Another great option if you do not have either of those weapons is to use the Test Subject. This also has the talent perfectly in sync. And as far as farming for these weapons is concerned, I will talk about that at the end of the video. When it comes to the handgun, you have a few options. For me, I use the Quick Step because when that's in your hand, you get that extra 20% movement speed bonus. And one thing I like to mention anytime I put a skill build together is that if you use the TDI card custom, you can see it has a skill tier, but to be clear, that skill tier is only going to be active when the weapon is in your hand, so please make sure you take that into consideration when you're putting a build together. Alright, now moving on to the gear itself, we're running 3 Empress, 1 Murakami, 1 Wyvern, and the Investor Mask, which you can see on screen. Now, this has the talent slotted, and you're going to receive bonuses for each non-core attribute on this item, depending on their color. Red is 10% crit hit damage, yellow is 5% skill efficiency, and blue is 1% armor regen. Now, as you can see for this one, because we have 2 yellow and 1 blue, that means we're getting an extra 10% skill efficiency and 1% armor regen just by wearing this mask. And ideally, this would have been all yellow. You know, all 3 of those minors would have been yellow, but again, you get what you get. Next, we have the body armor. It's the one piece of Wyvern. We are using the named body armor, the Impetus, with its talent perfect kinetic momentum. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1.5% and skill repair by 2%, up to 18 stacks per skill. Right after that, we have the holster. It's the first of 3 pieces of Empress International. We are running 3 because we want all 3 brand set bonuses. After that, we have the knee pads. They are the named knee pads Emperor's Guard, and we are using these for that middle attribute, 1% armor regen. I will talk about how to get these at the end of the video as well. Last but not least, we have the backpack, third and final piece of Empress International, and you can see we are using the talent tech support because with that talent, skill kills are going to increase total skill damage by 25% for 20 seconds, which is a f***ing lifetime in this game. As far as the skills are concerned, for me, I'm using the assault drone and the assault turret. Finally, my friends, I want to mention in the gameplay footage you're about to see, I do not have any global modifiers active whatsoever, and the reason for that is to ensure that whenever you see this build, you know exactly what it can do without any special events. Hope this helped you out, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage and a few final thoughts. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible continued support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Hello once again, my fellow agents. I hope you're doing well on this fine day. All right, so I mentioned I'm leaving a link to the how to get the investor mask farming guide, whatever you want to call it, in the video description down below. I recommend checking that out. And as far as the other items are concerned, the Harmony Rifle and the Emperor's Guard knee pads. Those happen to be PvP exclusives. You can also get them from name caches as well. And if you happen to have any of the Houndsman bounties, you can farm those mini Warhounds. They can also drop those items. And as far as the capacitor is concerned, if you've never gotten one before, you can get one guaranteed by completing certain challenges in the summit. Just go to the summit. You can figure out the whole menu thing once you get to the elevator. It'll show you exactly what challenges you need to complete to get that weapon. And I know when it comes to skill builds in the game, people have a love-hate relationship with them. I think a lot of people don't really lean into skill builds that often because they're just not used to the gameplay. But once you get it down, it's a lot of fun. You can really clear content incredibly fast. I use this build for farming control points, retaliation. This just decimates kill squads really damn quick. So hope you enjoy this thing. Let me know of any other questions you have. That's all I got for the video. Take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and I will see you in the next one.